conservative point of view to black issues. His mission, to provide a forum for honest discussions about social issues without the liberal lapdogs shutting down the discussion. Broadcasting from the American Truth Project Studios in beautiful Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. This is Conservative Nation with your host, Jermaine Buxio.
Hello, 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 and welcome back. Welcome back to another edition of Conservative Nation with me, your gracious host, Jermaine Buxio. And on today's show, you guys know what the deal is. It is Tuesday, Double Barrel J's Tuesday, and I got the one, the only mind of Jamal. How are you doing, sir?
How is everybody doing? How are you guys doing this evening?
Hopefully everybody's doing well. In Biden's crazy America, I could tell you a lot of folks are crying right now. Tax day was the other day. I seen the tax day in Atlanta. My friend sent me a pic. And let me tell you, it was crazy.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of people crying.
This is what happens when you vote Democrat.
Yup. So hopefully, everybody got what they deserved for taxes. I wish that we had a very easy tax sheet, but we don't have that here in America. We have a criminal tax division that takes our funds and misappropriates it. Jamal, what do you think about tax day? Do you think that we should have a easier tax form than what is out there? Instead of the 1099 and all that type of jazz, 1042 easy and all.
Well, personally, I honestly believe we shouldn't be doing an income tax period. We need
that's what I'm saying.
Go back to consumption tax, because they're paying taxes for so well. Because what it does is, if we're doing what people buy, what they can afford, then you're going to get people back to work. Then you're going to sit there and you want people back to work so they can be able to afford more things. But as much as the government is, at one time, how we paid off the Civil War, So my thing is talking. Oh, okay. Look, my microphone was talking in my ear. I'm like, what the heck?
Oh,
But no, it was playing on the wrong part. I was supposed to be
oh
on
Lord.
Conservative Nation. That's I'm like, hold up, what is that noise talking? But no, what I was saying was, Jermaine, that we had consumption tax. You tax sugar, you tax soda at a higher price, and you make up the taxes on the things we need.
Yep.
But we have a spending problem that is so out of control. That's why we have a income tax. We do not need an income tax because the income tax has been the reason why a lot of Americans have went to jail and lost anything.
Absolutely.
If you're not buying anything, you don't need to be taxed.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely correct. You know, a consumption tax will fix a lot of the problems going on. You know, there's a whole bunch of folks who make sure that they, you know, conserve and they spend very, very, very wisely. Yes. And we have other folks who have a whole bunch of cash and they just don't care. You know, brand new TVs every time you look up. You get what I'm saying? Yes. There has to be another way. And I believe that they keep it long and very complicated like this so that they can rip money and steal. That's what I wholeheartedly believe that. But if you speak to a lot of Democrats, you know, they like it. You know, they like the nonsense. Ladies and gentlemen, please, oh please, do us a favor. Hit that like button. Make sure you share.
Please share.
Share. We're going to need your help. Yeah, you know about those technocrats, right? They're very evil folks. Next to their daddy, Satan's bosom. They're sitting there sucking on the teat, let me tell you. And you know what else they're doing? They're hitting that censorship button, making it hard for us to get out there and put out the truth. If they weren't lying, if they were about, you know, doing what is right, they wouldn't be scared and they wouldn't be censoring. But if you need to push an agenda and you don't want people to hear the other side, you're going to censor. And that's what they're doing. So we need your help. It's that simple.
But you can't beat that argument.
You really
beat
can't.
them, cheat them.
Absolutely. We got a fantastic show lined up for you guys. A very, very, very good show. So we're going to need your help. Please, oh, please. And if you can, help us out. Throw some chips in the bucket. Everything goes to a good cause. Helps us with the lights. Helps us with the internet here. Helps us with the platform and fees. And let me tell you, every time you look up, the fees are creeping up as well.
Yes.
Right? Since there has been a quote-unquote podcasting boom. And I want folks to understand, we've been running a podcast, quote-unquote, before the quote-unquote podcasting boom. I want folks to understand it. These type of shows, we were doing it before they were popular. And once people noticed it was popular, they're like, hey, I can do it too. Right? And there's a lot of folks who are good at, and there's a whole bunch of folks who ain't.
That's bad.
They super bad. They're like, hey, I can sit on there and run my mouth for 2 hours just like ya. And I say, go ahead, buddy. And you know what happens? That they go ahead and within the first 2 shows, they done.
Yep.
Because in this business, it's either you got it or you don't. That's what it come down to. You know, it's not something that you could just, you know, pick up. Either you got it or you don't. So we need your help. All right. We certainly do. I want to also give a shout out to somebody who donated before we even got on here. All right. Tony Abrahams, he donated on our Cash App. I want to go ahead and make sure he gets the customary. Took our $5 challenge and challenges 5 others to donate to the show. Shout out to you. Shout out to you.
Blessing to the page through PayPal. I want to thank Miss Minnie McCormick for her blessing through the page through PayPal.
Absolutely.
She went on and went to bed early tonight, y'all. She said she going to bed early, so I want to go on and thank her.
Absolutely. Shout out to her. Let me go ahead and give her one of these.
And you got a super chat
on Rumble too, yup. I just see it right now. Let me go ahead and give a shout out to Dora Mofo. Says thanks for all you guys do. Thank you so much. Dora Mofo took the $10 challenge. Absolutely. Shout out to you. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's get flaming. Let's get flaming. Make sure you guys do your due diligence. Help us out. First one up, I want to speak to you guys about family. Oh, yes, family is very important. That's why I always start the show speaking about family. I want to show you guys a viral video that a lot of people are sharing. And it deals with a black kid that is asked to leave a gym by his coach. He doesn't want to leave. He's causing a ruckus there. And somebody important shows up. And he decides to follow directions from authority and do the right thing. And I want you guys to see this. When it comes back, we shall speak about it. Make sure you guys share. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Here we go.
I said I was feeling sick. If I'm feeling sick, I'm going to be up there on the bleachers. What is you not understanding that? When I'm feeling myself, I'm going to come down. What is you not understanding that?
Lower your voice. Lower your voice.
Oh, I'm just excusing myself. Anything else you want to come from it.
I don't want you to
If you want to talk to anybody, I got a lawyer, anything, but you're not finna come to me no type of way and disrespect me.
Hold on.
Bro, get your hands off me.
Hold on.
Get your hands off me.
Look at the way he's speaking about
You
the
got
cop.
5 seconds to get your hands.
What you gonna do?
You got 5 seconds to
What
get
you
your
gonna
hands
do?
on me.
What you gonna do?
You got 5 seconds to get your
what
hands
you
on me. I ain't
gonna
gonna do nothing. You gonna
Exactly.
get your off of me and get out my presence.
And causing a big scene inside the gym.
No, I ain't
Because
causing
you're really
no scene.
pushing for disorderly conduct.
I ain't
That's what you're
pushing
doing.
nothing.
You
If
are.
I'm pushing some, alright, like I said, stay right
Okay. Now, come on, man. Get your stuff. Let's go.
there. I ain't going nowhere.
Yeah. You are.
I'm not going nowhere.
Yes,
Like
you
I
are.
said, why is you following me?
Because even Mr. Perry wants you to get you stuff because he wants you to meet him over there. So let's go.
I don't care about what Mr. Perry
Let's
said.
go.
I'm in this class. I just got in this class.
Okay.
I don't give a what you say to me.
Go.
Get the out my face.
Come on, man. You finna take a ride to jail, dude. I ain't with you.
Who the is you talking about ride to jail? I ain't do to begin with.
It's called disorderly conduct.
Disorderly
Stand up
conduct. You ain't
and let's
going
go.
down. No.
Boy. Stand up and come with me. I'm telling you to stand up and come with me for causing a disorder inside the gym in front of everybody else. I'm giving you a lawful order to get up and come on now. All right, man. Take the backpack off. We finna go to jail. You're going to jail for disorderly conduct and resisting at this point. Take the bag off.
What's up, sweetheart? You good? No, I'm not good. I literally just got thrown around by the police like I haven't done nothing.
All right, take the bag off.
I'm not doing nothing.
Take the bag off.
Nothing is gonna happen.
You
until
are
my
fixed.
lawyer get up here.
You are fixed to get put in handcuffs
I'm not.
one way or another.
I'm not.
Take
I'm
the
not.
bag off. Take it off. Take the bag off.
No right to be slung
Take
up
the
against
bag
the
off.
bleachers.
You're refusing a lawful order for me to be able to put you in handcuffs. Take the bag off. I'm going to take the bag off. We can get you decontaminated once the backpack is off. Well,
Let me shut up.
that's what I'm trying to get you to do. Let go of the bag, dude. to help you. You got a nurse here to help you with the spray. It looks like Dad's right here at the door. Is this your dad?
He is. Is he okay for that?
For now. Are you his dad, sir? Yeah. I'm sorry? Yes. Can I speak to you out here, please? Deputy McCray, I'm the server here at the high school. So the situation is your son and a coach are mad at each other for whatever reason. I'm just there to be seen and try to keep the peace for whatever reason. Well, your son starts getting more agitated, raising his voice, disrupting the entire gym. At this point, that's disorderly conduct. So as
look at how the father is listening.
Talk to you for a second. He squares off with me and says, "You got 5 seconds to get your hands off me." I was like, "Really?" Like at that point, now I'm feeling threatened because you're squaring up on me. Why are you doing this? As he's walking away, I was like, "Look, dude, come here. I need to talk to you. You're causing a huge scene. You're yelling. You're causing disruption to the entire gym." He goes sit down on the bleachers. I said, "Look, even Mr. Perry wants you to get your stuff. You at least got to go to in-school suspension or whatever he wants to do with you for now." I said, "But get your stuff. Come on, get up, go." But if he keeps causing disruptions, like, "All right, man." And so you got to take a ride for disorderly at this point. So I grab him by his arm to go to stand him up, and he starts fighting me. So I'm using everything I can to not tumble down the bleachers with him. Do I grab his hair? Yeah, I do. Because I'm grabbing for whatever I can to try to get a hold of him, to try and detain him and get him in handcuffs as peacefully as I can. But he's not wanting me to do that. And then I'm trying to take the backpack off.
Boy, I can only imagine if the mama was there.
It's going to go with you.
Mama would have caused the scene.
In order for me to detain you without any further incident, I need you to take the backpack off. And I let him go. I let him try to do it himself. He doesn't want to, so I grab it again. Try to help him get it off. And it's back and forth, back and forth. So, for my policy, if people were still not listening, even after I've already tried soft and hard hand control, my next step is to go to some form of, pepper spray. I don't want to use the kid, so I use the most compliant force I can, which is the pepper spray, which usually helps kind of lighten that mood and then go, "Oh, that hurts. All right. Yes, I'm done." And I'm like trying to get him to take his backpack off so I can get him cuffed up and we can take him and go get him decontaminated. And he's still not listening to me. Still resisting, still trying to keep the backpack on, still don't want to stand up.
Anybody, witnesses?
Yeah, so the coaches witnessed it, the teachers here, not this tall black gentleman, but the Mr. Perry, Mr. Grimm, the coaches, and of course a bunch of kids.
So at this point, SARS
he has to go with me at this point.
He's going to jail. That young Negro need to go to jail.
From the spray, but he's not going to listen to me.
Can I talk to him?
Absolutely.
You got to stand up, SARS.
Man, look how that daddy controlled him.
Okay.
And I tell you, all you don't your eyes up.
Holy smoke, we need more dads.
At this point, with everything happening, like I told you, you got to take a ride with me. Okay? Put your hands behind your back.
Wow.
Okay?
Bow. Jamal, my goodness gracious, brother. My goodness gracious, ladies and gentlemen, you see that nonsense? You see that? See how crazy that was? That young black kid doing the most, not trying to listen to authority. Soon as his black daddy came, right? Shout out to daddies out there. Daddy! Soon as the black dad came, he wasn't on none of that BS. He listened. He used logic, right? He said, anybody else witness this crap? Okay, I got you. Where he at? Let me go speak with him. His father came. He was quiet. He ended up doing everything that cop wanted to do in the beginning, and he ended up going to jail. And guess what? His dad witnessed him going to jail, and he didn't create a ruckus. Jamal, my goodness gracious. This should be an advocation for fathers in these young black men's lives. What do you think about this here?
You know what I think? Number one, Jermaine, it should have never got to this point.
Yeah, it shouldn't.
Okay, you can tell mother and daddy ain't together.
Yep, you can.
Daddy came out there. You can tell they're not married. He's probably one of those dads that when he come around, son snap to attention. But when mama there with him, he do what the heck he want.
Yep.
Okay, because you can tell the heckling Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde type switch up. Now, what I saw when the father got there, the father was asking questions, leaned a little bit on the I'm gonna tell me what you did wrong to
Yeah.
my son.
Yep. I
Almost.
seen that.
What he said there and say, did you have any witnesses? Do you have any witnesses? Like the police officer is the one that did wrong. If you notice that, he asked the police officer, do you got any
Yep.
witnesses?
I know.
You did wrong, but the officer, the officer made sure he says yes, sir, and he's also a black male because the police officer can tell it got to a color thing.
Yep.
This white man putting his hands on my children, and that's one of the problems that we need to start telling black children. It don't matter if the color, if the adult, white, Asian, Latino, pink, purple, blue. You listen.
Yep.
There is no. You respect me, I respect you. I don't know who started that stupid
They mamas.
crap when it comes to kids. If that teacher respect you, you respect him. No, that teacher's an adult. Unless that teacher rubbing your hind part and touching you inappropriately, you supposed to respect an adult. An adult don't earn respect from you. Who
Ridiculous. Yep.
And these children take this mentality on them. You have to earn respect. No, adult don't. They're an adult. And this is part of this new generations, this new respect that's coming. And it reflects.
It absolutely does. I can tell you one thing, Jamal. If the mother was there, it would have turned into something ugly. Mama would have said, can't believe you put your hands on my black baby. My baby. My baby. She would have sat there, created a scene, encouraged her child to disrespect the authority a lot more. I've seen black women do this. Giving passes, emotional passes. I want people to understand this stuff happens all the time. But the father, because he knows consequences, regardless if he's still on that colored tip, he knows consequences. And he had his son do what was right. And I believe that if we had more fathers that were out there, no matter what political affiliation they come from, the children would act a lot better. And Jamal, I'm with you with this, you respect me first before I respect you crap. These kids haven't put in no work.
Yep.
Yeah, all you do is wake up, play video games, eat pizza, and then somebody's supposed to respect you? Yeah, you haven't did nothing. Hold on. Yeah! Haven't done nothing. But this you respect me type crap, respect me type first crap, it come from their mama. That emotional thinking. Hey, you don't put your hands on me, right? I don't like the way that you talk to me. All that type of stuff come from their mama. And they know that, hey, if my mama come down here, my mama will get emotional because she thinks through emotion, right? Ladies, you know what I'm talking about, right? When we talk about, hey, what do you think about this, right? Men say, I think this. Women say, I feel this. That's what women do. They say, I feel. And you cannot lead with emotions. You just can't, because this is what happens when you do. So I'm so glad that this clip came out to show folks that, hey, fathers are muchly needed no matter what the Democrat Party is saying. Last words on this here, sir.
Jermaine, if I don't know if you can bring it up, but if you go look at the link where that came from, the link you sent me.
Oh, yeah. Let me go ahead and pull that up.
And how ignorant they are. This is why black children are behind the 8 ball, because the adults who are supposed to be leading and guiding them are stupid.
Let me go ahead and pull it up. I know exactly what you're talking about.
The adults are stupid.
Straight up stupid. Here, let me. Right. Okay, here we go. All right, here, switching. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you share.
I mean, the comments is just ignorant. I mean, comments is just, why he talking that way to the officer? Respect. Guess what? Like, y'all freaking adults.
Okay, let me go ahead and transition. Here's Patches Bell, a black woman. This is the main reason why a lot of black men don't mess with black women, because they sound retarded and they don't think well. She says, I don't know what most of you guys see, but it was the officer using excessive force. Holy crap. I didn't see the kid square up with him or the coach. He even asked if he could dismiss himself because he doesn't feel good. I didn't see any disorderly conduct, defiant maybe, but nothing caused him to get pepper sprayed or taken to jail. And look at how many folks agreed with her, Jamal. We all witnessed and looked at the same thing here.
Look at that.
And there's so many of these type of comments, and mostly coming from black women and black men who are raised by their mama. She blames the officer. And if you go ahead and probably ask her, Jamal, she would probably say the officer was racist. How much you want to bet? She would say the officers were racist.
This is literally what they're saying.
Ladies and gentlemen, you just can't make this stuff up. The Democrat Party will never go into this type of conversation with y'all, because they know that once they do, either they have to err on the right side or look stupid and ridiculous. And they're already stupid and ridiculous, so they don't want to go ahead and get into this type of debate. The kid had a defiant tone. The kid brought all this type of stuff on himself to the point where he had to get pepper sprayed. And this black woman is giving him a pass. I bet you if she came down there and that was his mama, gosh darn it, she would have caused a scene.
She would have showed up and showed out.
I'm telling you, you just can't make this stuff up, Jamal. You just can't. So I'm very, very, very grateful that this clip came out and people can see the nonsense for what it is. We need more fathers in these young black men's lives. We certainly do. The Democrat Party knows that if their mama is running the household like this, they're going to have a thought process just like her. I want people to understand that no matter if it's a kid, a dog, or a gosh darn aunt, if they're raised by the black woman who is a liberal, they're going to have that thought process. And they will think through emotion. They will not respect authority, right? And they won't want to deal with consequences, because a lot of times in these type of women's lives, they don't deal with consequences correctly. They just don't. So that's what it is. That's what it is. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to somebody who just donated here too. Kelly Land. Shout out to the beautiful Kelly Land and John Lennon for taking our challenge. Absolutely. Let me go ahead and give you guys customaries. Absolutely. I believe these guys are on YouTube. Shout out to you guys. But that's what it is, Jamal. You just can't get around it. We need good families here in America, and we need fathers in the home no matter what color they are. Because I can tell you there's a whole bunch of white children who do the same thing. They certainly do. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Make sure you share.
Way, Jermaine.
Yes, sir.
Happy belated birthday.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you.
You born the same day my little brother is.
Oh, okay.
His birthday was Saturday.
Saturday as well. That's good. That's good. I was born on Friday the 13th too.
Let's see. Jason was born. Let's see.
I'm telling you, crazy.
I say I'm 40. I'm 49. He'll be. Jason is 41 years old now. My little
good
brother's
man.
41 years old.
I'm telling you that Aries, strong individuals. I don't meet very many
I thought you
Aries.
a Taurus. Nah, you a Taurus, I think.
No, unless it changed, I know that.
I thought you was a Taurus. I thought you guys were Taurus.
Aries.
I was looking at. And by the way, you're not on your Twitter page. I see you just uploaded something a couple days ago, but yeah, you didn't.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I got the information to do it. I just gotta get it sent there.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm gonna make sure I do it next time because it will really help out a lot. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Next one up, I want to go ahead here and show you guys another viral video. And it deals with a young man that gets out of pocket real quick. You guys know about children at school. The children nowadays, they can't learn. This emotional learning crap is taking a hold. And when I say that children, if they're not raised correctly and they're out of your sight, let me tell you something. They will act out. I want you guys to see this. A young black man slaps his teacher twice.
Hey, Jermaine.
Yes, sir.
Real quick before we go further. This is Nidra Liddy. Nidra Liddy says, my 3 boys don't act like that, and I'm a Democrat. There is no substitute for good home training, no matter your title.
Oh, okay.
You gotta get. I'm gonna give us some love on that, but
Yeah.
we do know who majority of them kids acting bad like that. Now,
Yeah,
but
Nidra.
you all correct.
Yeah, she's absolutely correct with that assessment, but I want Nidra to understand. Majority of the black children are raised by the mama.
Yeah.
So until she, gets over that fact there, what we say reigns supreme. Yeah, just can't get around it. Most black children are raised by the mama. Most black men are raised by the mama. You could go ahead and blame the black men all you want. Hey, the dads ain't there, right? But the black women are raising them. And guess what? They're screwing the hell up. And when you go ahead and you start pointing the fingers of who's raising these children, black women are the first to point to the black men who ain't around, which looks silly. So, I totally agree with her. No matter what political affiliation you are, there's no substitute for good home training. There's none.
Nah.
But there has to be a dynamic there where children will respect. And a lot of the times, no matter how much it hurts a lot of these women's feelings, they're not doing a very good job. They're not at all. And I don't like playing around with them. You're not doing a good job. Maybe you are personally, let me tell you. But majority, they're not doing a good job at all. And these are coming from the folks who claim to be the backbone of the black community, right? If you ask black women, we're the backbone of the black community. And that backbone is gosh darn broken. All the way up.
I say it's more is out of place. It's like if I take and I slip my bone out of place. It don't supposed to be that way. It don't supposed to be black women raising children by themselves. It's
And ain't supposed to
be
happen like that.
a father in the home with her because it's a proven fact. And I'm gonna go on Jermaine when I say
Go
that.
ahead.
It's
Go
a
ahead.
proven fact. Black children or any child does 10 times better than a child of a single parent.
Absolutely.
A single mother. Excuse me, single mother.
Single mother. We got to get rid of that single parent crap because it's mostly single moms.
Father numbers are good. Their kids are well disciplined, well educated. Yeah. They broke that down. But
you will hardly see a kid coming from a single daddy home screwing up. You will hardly see it. When I even ask these women, hey, go ahead and show me a single father raising children and their children are screwed up like the black women's children. The black women start looking at me and their eyes are fluttering. And you know why their eyes are fluttering? Because they got those gosh darn lashes that look like they came from a gosh darn Venus flytrap. And then they're sitting there running their mouth about emotion and feelings. We got to get back to the truth. We certainly do. I want to go ahead and run this when it come back. I want to speak about it. Black boy disrespecting his teacher. Here we go. Make sure you share. Make sure you hit that like button. Here we go.
What? You think that affected me any? Want me to hit you again? Want me to hit you again? I don't want it. You want me to hit you again? I don't want it. Want me to hit you again? My God. Stop fucking playing with me. I told your dumb ass I'll knock those dumb ass glass off your fucking face. And do I look like I care? What the fuck wrong with you? What you gonna do? Still sit in that chair? You was a bitch. My granny, nigga, stop fucking playing with me.
Oh, my granny. You better stop playing with me. Even the black men shout out their mamas. I want black women to know. They let everybody know who raised them. I want black women to understand. Right? All you got to do is listen to your children. Oh, my mama, you better back up. I know you heard that before, Jamal.
Yep.
Oh, my granny, you better stay back before I beat your ass. That's the way the young black children speak. And you know why they're saying it? Because they raised by their women.
And they ain't got no, yes.
Right? How come they're not saying, oh, my daddy, oh, my uncle, you better back up? They're not saying that.
My mama.
Oh, my mama. They're using this phrase because they respect their mama. And I want the mothers to know that they copy what you do. They copy your thought process. They copy the way that you interact with folks because that's all they see when they're at home. So if you're sitting there disrespecting men, disrespecting authority, talking crazy, right, like a lot of black women do, guess what? Your children are going to do the same thing. And there's so many white folks out there who, in my eyes, are brainless and retarded, who don't see it. And they go along with y'all. They're dumb. Let me go ahead and run this again. I want to get you guys' take on it. Black young boy. He says, on his granny.
Yeah.
You better back up. Take a look.
Oh! Stop fucking playing with me, bitch ass nigga. What? You think that affected me?
And he called the teacher a bitch ass nigga.
Oh! Yeah. Stop fucking playing with me, bitch ass nigga. What? You think that affected me any? Want me to hit you again? Want me to hit you again? I don't want it. You want me to hit you again? I don't want it. Want me to hit you again? My God. Stop fucking playing with me. I told your dumb ass I'll knock those dumb ass glass off your fucking face. And do I look like I care? What the fuck wrong with you? What you gonna do? Still sit in that chair? You was a bitch. My granny, nigga, stop.
Oh, my granny. And these young black children believe that it's cool.
Ain't nobody even come and you just got slapped. Bitch, go back to teaching. Yo, soft ass.
Yo, soft ass. You go back teaching. That's a young man who's gonna get shot by the police, or a young man who'll be doing a lot of prison time. And I think it should be quite warranted for his behavior. What do you think about this here, Jamal?
Well, here's the thing. This is the results. Notice this is the same type of guy from earlier.
Yep.
This is the same type. So it's obvious. It's obvious what's going on. It is obvious what's going on. That these people, they sit here the same exact MO. Young, black, dreaded up.
Yep, dreaded up.
Yo.
Got the curly fries.
It's like you don't have no respect for each other. You don't have no respect for nobody. You believe somebody, you equal to someone. And you know why they're like this? Because this is why you don't see a lot of male teachers. Because a black man will knock you slam out.
Oh, wouldn't even deal with it.
Oh, old white teacher will belly bop your butt and a belly to belly slam you on the ground because he's the wrestling coach and you sitting up there tapping out. But no, you can't touch black children like that. You don't be touching my child. We don't want you harming again. I'm gonna tell you something. This is why they want transgender and all this other type of stuff, because these type of people are easily overran.
Yep. Easily overran. Now, that teacher, Sin Napier, said that teacher sounded like a man. Sin Napier, we live in 2024. You're absolutely correct. I wanted to see if anybody will point that out. Teachers sound like, that teacher got some nuts down there. Let me tell you. Especially the way that teacher took those 2 slaps. I can tell you that.
You wouldn't slap me the first time. You wouldn't even drew back. That little boy wouldn't even drew back.
He wouldn't.
I'd follow him like a nigga in the street.
That's why you don't hardly see any male teachers anymore. If you see a male teacher, he's soft as hell. And the children know it. So we have to get back to common sense. We have to get back to what is right. These children need to be retrained. A lot of these women who are having children need to stop having children. They believe that they can have as many children as they want, not get married, and all of a sudden the children will grow up well and they'll have a happy life. Doesn't work like that. Does not at all. Your children end up suffering. And this young man will end up suffering. I hope he went to jail. Because I know if I was there, if I was a janitor and I seen something like that, I would have walked in with that broom and whooped his ass. On my granny. On my granny, I would have whooped his ass. Hold on, Jamal. On my daddy. Because that's who I was raised by. On my daddy, I'll whoop his ass. And then these young guys believe, Jamal, that they're real men. These are the same guys who won't even go fight for their country. It's outrageous. We need to get back to reality, ladies and gentlemen. We have to be strong. We cannot sit here and just allow these people to run amok, run the country. And what's crazy to me, Jamal, is you never see any black Democrats speaking about this topic. Nope, if they are, they're blaming the white man.
Yep.
Oh, it's the white man who created these conditions. See, back in 1942, black people couldn't even walk right. They had to put on one shoe and then beg for the other shoe. All sorts of dumb stuff. Right? This post-traumatic slave syndrome that they came up with so that black folks can be absolved of any BS that they're doing? You just can't make this stuff up. Just can't make it up. So hopefully, people can see what the real deal is out there. Any last words, Jamal, before we move forward?
What you saw in the video was a teacher that was just sitting there like, okay, you're not bad. And some of these teachers are going by an old perception.
Yep.
They sit there and they say things like, oh, you ain't hurt me. I ain't worried about you. That right there is the worst thing you can do, because that young man is not going to stop.
Nope. Next time he'll kill you.
That teacher, when he was walking up on him, should have stood up and said, I'm going to give you a warning, and this is the only warning you get. You get within my space, and they're going to be waking you up with smelling salt. Talk your junk over there, but you come this close, within swinging distance, you going out. I ain't scared of you. I ain't. Bow.
Shout out to Nidra. Nidra Liddy says, I don't see or hear people talk like you are saying. I guess our circles are different. Absolutely. You probably hang out with a lot of Negroes who have that mainstream black nigga mindset. Yeah, but I put it like it is. All about color. Color. Right? Color take over your brain. Common sense ain't there. And when Negroes start hearing me speak, you know what they do? They say, you know what? He's an Uncle Tom. I can't believe he's telling us to be accountable for our children and for us to think in a different manner. I can't believe this Negro would even fix his black lips to say this. I bet he don't like his black mama, right? And then they'll say, you know what, Jermaine, your mama black. And I say, for real? My mama black? That's the way they are. But if you hang around folks who have a good heart, no matter what color they are, they'll be able to see this. Most white folks can see stuff like this. Nidra, I want you black liberals to understand. Most good folks out there can see that you don't raise your children well. Right? You go speak to Apu and them. Speak to Chun Li and Jet Li and them. They'll let you know. Yeah, they'll let you know that, the way that you guys raise your children ain't well. Yeah, they can play basketball and they can dunk and all that, but gosh darn it, when it comes to education, when it comes to doing the right thing, you guys are right on the TV. Yeah! White folks can see it too. That's why I want black folks to come to reality. Take off those color blinds. Come to reality. Because once you start doing it, you'll see where you're really at. If you go to Africa, and this should let black folks know everything. You go to Africa, the Africans don't even like you. My parents are from Ghana, West Africa. I've been to Africa plenty of times. 4 countries, as a matter of fact, in Africa. And I can tell you, you know what? They don't like African Americans. You know why? They think you guys act like monkeys out here. Yeah, they call you a kata and all that stuff. When you hear Africans calling you a kata, I want black folks to know they're calling you a monkey. And they're calling you that for a reason, because you're acting like a monkey. Monkeys don't learn well, right? And if they do, they're doing the most. They're always screwing up. They believe that you make them look bad. Yeah, that the African who's out there who has dirty shoes on, he don't got the Jordans. He got the Zebra 99s on. You get what I'm saying, Jamal? Yeah, he got the Warthog 72s on. Let me tell y'all. And he the one who's saying that you looking crazy. Last words here, Jamal.
Number one, Africans know that the blacks over here were the captured slaves that they sold. That's number one. The Africans in Africa know if you were still over there, that means your tribe and your ancestors weren't captured, lost in battle, and were used as sex and trading slaves. That's all they were. Now, if you was over there, your ancestors ended up on the boat. Your ancestors sucked. They lost the battle, and Shaka Zulu and other Africans brought you down to the ports because until white people got medicine where they could go enter Africa, they had to only go on the ports because of malaria.
Malaria, them damn.
So they would go get the slaves from the ports, which Africans would buy. That means they went out and conquered your tribe, number one. Number two, a lot of black folk have this disingenuous conversation, Jermaine. They will sit there and tell you, I don't know nobody like that. I don't see nobody do that. They always never see it. They always never seen it, never heard of it, don't know what nobody talking about, but it's obvious that it is.
Yep.
They
just can't get around it
and avoid it because the truth hurts. The black community is a failure.
It is.
An absolute failure. We are worse now than what we were pre-civil rights.
I'm telling you.
Our families, our wealth destroyed. Why? Because of we allowed pleasures and all fell in line behind one party, and that party couldn't have strong black men in the house. It wanted strong black women. And everybody that comes over to America, all these illegal immigrants, you know one thing you know, daddy run the home, not mama.
Not mama. Nidra, and let me tell you something. The reason why I don't like a lot of black women because they think just like ya. We're not speaking about you personally or your situation. But instead of you to sit back and take a look at this, right? Take your emotions out of the deal. Your emotions are right in there, blocking you from having common sense. Right? Oh, my children have masters. And we've already said that, hey, if you're doing the right thing, good for you. Right? Do you want me to clap and say you're doing good? Hold on. She want one of these. Hold on. Detroit, you're doing a good job for your children, but the rest, they ain't doing well. Go ahead, bro.
Thank you. That one comment.
Holy smokes.
Out of the outer wedlock birth, number one, single parent mother home, number two. Those are 2 strikes against children already.
Yep.
And when people say, well, my child turned out good, I know a child to take, okay, I know somebody that jumped out there and swam with a great white shark. I know somebody who do that. But you know what? My black hind part ain't going to try, and nobody else ain't going to try. That's to go swim with the great white shark theory. Just because one turned out good, the other 9 didn't. And why do black folk to try to make a argument look false point to the 1% that does something and the 90, but don't talk about the 99%. That 1% that pushes and succeed, yes, is good, but you cannot take away from the 99% that fail. And that's why black community keep failing, because we keep trying to prop up the 1%.
Absolutely.
And the 99% is the true results of the action. And until you say, hey, this is failed, 99% says you fail.
Absolutely.
1% says you succeed. And if you're a 1%er, you're a billionaire. You're the 1% of the nation. You're a billionaire. But the 99% is what usually happens.
Absolutely. So, I understand Nidra where she coming from. That's the last thing I'm going to, bring up, or address her, because I see she still has that thought process. I'm gonna let her.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let her simmer with that. She'll simmer with it.
Herself the standard.
yeah, she'll simmer with it. And hopefully, you know, if she believes in Jesus, Jesus will come down and speak to you as well. You know, and then you'll have a new way of looking at things, you know, not from that, you know, emotional standpoint that you're coming from. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys do me a favor, hit that like button. Make sure you do share. If you're enjoying the program right now, make sure you put down 1. Put down the number 1 if you're enjoying the program. If you're not, you think that Jermaine's a black racist, he hates his gosh darn color and all that, you know, go ahead and put down number 2. Let me see who you are. Yeah, let me see who you are. Next one up. Let me see what time we have. Ooh, this is a good show. I'm gonna skip this other clip here. I want to speak to you guys about a Ghanaian prime minister. This video here has gone viral. A lot of folks are sharing this, and it deals with him speaking about
this speech by Samuel Nate George kept the
he's speaking about the LGBTQ community. He speaks to you about what it means to be a Ghanaian man. Speaks to you about how the culture is not right. A lot of people are very impressed about this. I want you guys to see this. So make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you share. And let me tell you something about this here. What he said in his speech shocked the UN Security Council so much so they were left speechless for 6 minutes. So I want people to understand that. From his speech, what he said, the white Western folks were speechless. Take a look at this. Make sure you share.
Representative from Western countries at the United Nations Security Council in New York City silent for 6 straight minutes.
I'll now have 2 brief comments from the floor. The first is Mr. Samuel George. Mr. George is a member of parliament from the country of Ghana. Mr. George.
Thank you very much, and all protocol duly observed. As a natural-born man, a charismatic Christian, a husband of 1 woman, a father of 3 children, and an elected member of Ghana's parliament, I hold the role of the family extremely sacred. I believe that the right to found a family and determine same is a right that accrues to everyone within the context and spirit of the 1992 Constitution of the Republic of Ghana, the African Charter on Human and People's Rights, the UN Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and several other recognized international treaties like the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights and the International Covenant on Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights. 75 years after the UDHR, the spirit and letter are more poignant than at any other time in our history. At a time in our world where supposedly progressive forces are agitating for a redefinition of the core principles of what a family is and represent in a somewhat regressive manner, the genuinely progressive voices, like those in this room, must rise in defense of family, its values and protections. The concept of the natural family is under attack, and a siege is being attempted on the spirit of the Declaration of Human Rights. Let me be clear here and now, sirs and ma'ams. There is a distinct difference between sex and gender or gender identity. The pseudo-war being waged by some against the family is premised on this obfuscation and literal obliteration of the distinction between sex and gender. Sex is a biological construct that transcends race, ethnicity, religion, and jurisdictional jurisprudence. Sex is binary. You're either male or female. God determines this at the moment of conception. A fetus carries either the XX or XY chromosome, determining whether it is born female or male. From my beloved Ningo Prampram constituency in Accra, Ghana, to New York, and Rio de Janeiro to Madrid or Delhi to Perth, the interpretation of XY and XX is constant. from my beloved Ningo Prampram constituency in Accra, Ghana, to New York, and Rio de Janeiro to Madrid or Delhi to Perth, the interpretation of X, Y, and XX is constant. Gender or gender identity, on the other hand, is a social construct that has evolved on the peculiarities of various societies. From the onset matching the binary nature of sex, we see different recognitions of gender today across the world. There is no universality in the concept of gender or gender identity, and it is highly fluid. And as such, gender or gender identity cannot form the basis for any rights accruing in a covenant, a convention, or international treaty which seeks to be globally acceptable and binding because we have different interpretations. This is the basis for my avowed position that the letter and spirit of the UN Universal Declaration of Human Rights is apt and meets the needs of our global world today. It emphasizes in Article 2 of the rights, the rights and freedoms in the declaration, and is clear that there shall be no distinctions made based on sex. Yes, it says sex, not gender or gender identity. This is a definite position and must be defended by all progressive forces. The UDHR in Article 16.1 makes yet another actual position that I cherish and implore all of us to hold fast and dear, that the right to marry and found a family shall be between men and women of full age, without prejudice to their race, nationality, or religion. Yes, it says men and women, not men and men or women and women. Yet again, this is another reinforcement of the principle of sex and not gender. As a proud African, Article 2 of our African Charter on Human and People's Rights also echoes the principles of enjoyment of rights without prejudice to sex and not gender. As Africans, the role of the family is cardinal to our society and its well-being. To reinforce this, Article 18 of the African Charter recognizes the family as society's natural unit and basis. It imposes a responsibility on member states in the African Union to protect the physical health and morals of the family. Yes, it said morals of the family. It declares the family as the custodian of morals and traditional values recognized by the community. The Charter says there is no ambiguity here, that the values of family as a union between a natural-born man and woman must be protected by all of us. Against this backdrop, together with 7 of my colleagues in Ghana's parliament, I'm sponsoring a private member's bill titled The Promotion of Proper Human Sexual Rights and Ghanaian Families Values Bill 2021 in Ghana's parliament. In conclusion, I reference the critical role that a family plays in the development of society through the development, education, and upbringing of children. Article 18, 3 and 4 of the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights declares respect for the liberties of parents and legal guardians to ensure their children's religious and moral education in conformity with the convictions of the parents and legal guardians. This right is not given to an educational board or a pressure group or a government. It is the sole right and preserve of parents in the family unit. Ladies and gentlemen,
let me go ahead and stop it right here, Jamal. So, this Ghanaian PM, very, 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 very good speech here, is saying something that we all know, that rights of teaching our children these type of values remain solely with the parents. And the parents have to be, they have to be right. He's saying that the family, the natural family, is under attack. What do you think about what he said here, sir?
My bad.
Go ahead, brother.
Hey, can't hear me now, man.
Yeah. Go ahead, brother.
Okay. People don't understand how the Biden administration and the Obama administration targeted African nations. They put sanctions on them to starve their people because they wouldn't go along with this. Guyana has a right, and every African nation have a right to say, we seen America, we seen Europe, and we see what don't work. You embrace of this homosexuality mentality, which is a greater problem because it shows the rot and the dissolve of your morals.
Yep.
We don't want this. We have family structure. Man, woman, meet, marry, have children, and to keep the culture going. They don't want the anomaly. So, and that's what, like, that's the one that says, oh, they'll be fine. There's nothing wrong. No, that's an anomaly. That's evil. And notice all the nations that are people of color nations ban homosexuality.
Absolutely.
Nations where you call them people of color ban homosexuality. They see it for what it is. It's European nations and European strongholds that are, oh, you need to embrace it. No, the reason why you were conquerors and everybody disliked you is because you had morals, you had standards, you had grounds, and you beat people. Now, oh my God, the men, you want to be women? Women, you want to be men? Zipper tits? Come on. I mean, it's nasty.
You just can't make it up. A lot of these African nations used to look up to the Western nations.
Yes.
I want people to understand they used to look up to America. They used to say, hey, we want to be just like Americans. We see that you guys have a lot of things going on for you. Money is nice and plentiful over there. A lot of jobs over there. People are taking care of their family and not suffering. And then come to find out, they can see how far you fail. And the American white man, I don't know where he is now. He's not looking for his legacy to remain good. He's not. When Donald Trump wants to secure the legacy of America still, you can see the liberal left wanting to take him down. He's racist.
Yep.
All sorts of dumb stuff. While you promote LGBTQ, I want people to understand no matter how much you love those folks, right? They're in a lot of our families. It's not natural and it's not right. And that is a conversation that a lot of people don't want to have, right? Because it deals with emotion. A lot of people in this country are emotionally weak. People like Donald Trump, people like myself, we say what it is. Because we were raised in a different way. My father, let me tell you something, strong African man. There's no way I could be running any nonsense around him. Sure, I even think sometimes he didn't have emotion.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm talking about a man who don't got emotion. I never seen him cry. Now, one time, I was telling my wife the other day, I said, my father never cried. Even when he had cancer. You know how much of a man he was? Let me let folks know. When he had prostate cancer and he was dwindling away, his body was just, just being emaciated and everything. He said, I don't want nobody to know that I have cancer. Promise me that you won't tell anybody. And I couldn't understand why. But as I got older, I understand why. I totally understand why. We don't have men like that anymore. Men are crying right next to their mama. We need to bring back family. That is the only way that we're going to turn around a lot of this mess. They need to destroy the family before that they can destroy America. That's how it works.
Which they did.
Ridicule the man, right? Get them away from being the head of the household. Allow the woman to run the household. She thinks through emotion. Women allow the LGBTQ stuff. If you look at even a lot of the families they come from, the LGBTQ folks, they're really prevalent in single mama families. Why is that, ladies? When it comes to accepting that lifestyle, a lot of women have gay friends.
Always.
Always. Let me tell you, the guys, they don't. Why is that, ladies? Because internally we know that the lifestyle isn't right. It's not logical. So if that gay guy comes to try to hang out with these type of men, they will always be ridiculed. They will always be thought of as less. And that's an emotion, right, that they have to deal with that they don't want to deal with. So we need to be honest about what's going on here. Last words here, sir.
You know what, Jermaine, as we talk, I want this, I wish I could show you, but I would have to switch screens. I'm watching these videos of people getting tired of these soy boys and these protesters getting all in front of the street. And this guy gets out, he's dragging them and just throwing them across, like, get out of the way. This is what's going on with America and the West. The West. We went up America. We defeated the Japanese, the Nazis. We defeated the Germans, the Austrians. Look at us today. There is no way this generation can go up against the Nazis. We would lose. There is no way this generation could go up against the British.
Nope,
they would lose. The homosexuality, this embrace of tolerance, the embrace of this tolerant crap. They always say, and this is what he noticed, we just want to be seen. We just want to live our lives. No, you don't. Because in 1980s, you said you just want to live your lives and you just want to be seen. Then the 1990s, you said it's a sexual preference. You know, let us do whatever we want. Let us serve in the military. We don't want to be bothered. We ain't going to bother you. Then you went to the 2000s. I want to get married. I was born this way. If you don't say it, God's gay. Jesus had two daddies. To what we got today. If you don't want to get to what present day Sodom and Gomorrah America is, you have to stop it at the door.
Yep.
Don't let them in.
You know, I'm praying every day for this nation.
Yes, I am too, but
every single day. I want folks to understand that. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys do me a favor, hit that like button. Make sure you do share. All right, we're going to need your help. And if you can, help us out. Throw a little bit in the bucket. I believe we got maybe 2 more folks. We needed to get to that challenge. Right, the $5 challenge. We need 2 more folks to donate $5. Can we do it? Can we do it out there? 2 more folks. Next one up, I want to speak to you guys about the border.
Oh, God.
Oh, Lord, right?
That's all you can say about that border. Oh, Lord.
You go ahead and speak to a lot of black folks. Hey, I don't care. They can just come on in. America is free. When I first heard that, I thought it was crazy. America is free?
That tone done changed a lot.
Shoot. And now they seeing Jorge and Maria getting $10,000 prepaid cards.
Too late to cry about reparations now.
Yeah. You know, being replaced very quickly. The border crisis in Texas is insane right now. Illegal alien smugglers are doing the most. There's a viral video right now of smugglers and folks who are ready to cross over throwing rocks and sticks at a drone. It's a Border Patrol drone that is taking surveillance of the area there. And the most disrespectful thing I can think of is for them to be doing it and not be, gosh darn, locked up. I want you guys to take a look at this when I come back. I want to speak about this. Here we go.
A drone from our Fox News flight team caught a group of scouts on one of the mountaintops up here. The scouts clearly didn't like the drone spying on them. You could tell by the way they threw rocks at it. And the scouts were keeping an eye on law enforcement down below. At the same time, we found a group of about 12 young men up in the mountains scrambling around on the hiking trails up there, waiting for their moment to come down to the U.S. side. The catch is recreational hikers and smugglers are using the same hiking trails.
I thought it was pretty unsafe. I mean, they just come like as they please, you know. We need more people out here to defend.
Now, the young men up there were waiting for the rides on the U.S. side. As soon as the cars pulled up into a parking lot at the base of the mountain, they scrambled down, loaded up, and made a break for it.
Jamal got something, ladies and gentlemen, that I want you guys to see. Jamal, replay that. Replay that. I want folks to see it.
Okay.
Yep, replay that.
All right.
Look at these folks blocking it.
Look, dude kicked him out.
Yeah, dude, kicked him and everything. Get your ass out of there.
Look, how can he grab dude right here?
Look at. See, this in those countries, they're not going to play that game. If this was America, guess what? Those people who are moving those protesters out of the way, they'll probably get locked up. They're like, get these fools out of here.
Watch this. See the dude crying up in a ball? Watch for this dude, big dude. Look at him. He gonna drag him all the way over there. Look at that.
Oh. You start doing this, ladies and gentlemen, these people will think twice before going out there.
Watch him. He's fed up. Oh, you gonna fall?
Yep, they tired. But look at the way he's dragging them. Look at the way he's dragging them.
Yo.
It's like picking up some trash, Jamal.
That's what I was talking about, Jermaine, when I'm like, yo, you got to see this.
Picking up some trash. Okay, so Jamal, what do you think about, these folks throwing sticks and rocks at the drone? Just sitting and waiting so that they can just run in. What do you think about that?
I wish and I hope President Trump do it, because I know Biden won't. Let him throw a rock and stone at a Reaper drone. Yeah, put a Reaper up there. Don't do it with missiles. Missiles cost too much. Load that mug with 50, and you was in the Army, load that mug with 50 caliber on the 50 caliber.
Oh, yeah.
On machine guns. You throw a rock, it throw a 50 caliber slug at your hind part. I bet you won't throw another one again. Because those are drug cartels. See, what people don't know is that those people that are throwing the rocks are scouts for the cartel.
Absolutely.
You don't allow scouts to scout your area. That's what the cavalry is for. The cavalry fought the other cavalry because at one time, the cavalry was your scouts. The cavalry's job is to scout, bring back information so you will know how to get around your enemy's defenses. Those people are dangerous. All of them need to be pushed back to the border. President Trump was right about the wall. Now he has seen how Joe Biden ignores the Supreme Court. Yep. How now, brown cow? You can bet Donald Trump gonna do the same. You can bet Donald Trump gonna finish that wall. He gonna do it.
Absolutely, in a heartbeat.
And it didn't work. We need to have, but armed civilians need to be on the border.
Absolutely.
Armed civilians. And if the drug dealers and drug cartels are shooting at our civilians, citizens here in America, then that's when the military need to come and light their butt up. You don't get within a mile dead zone. We need a 1 mile dead zone between America and Mexico. You
Absolutely.
cross it, whatever happens, happens.
And I want folks to understand, fixing the border is easy. Shout out to Anidra Liddy. She's saying, educate the viewers on how we should fix the problem. It's very simple. You enforce the laws that are already there. Right? I know, right? The laws are already there for it. But yes. what we could add, right? We could go ahead and finish the border up. Yeah, we finish the border. We make sure we put some good folks on the border there. And I guarantee you they're not going to get in. We speak to Mexico. Mexico is doing it on purpose. Right? They're with some evil cartel along with the Biden administration. The Biden administration is ran by some folks that we don't know about right now. Biden's not running the administration. Some elite folks are, ladies and gentlemen. I want people to understand that. Right? Yeah. There's a small group of folks who are running it. And once we start doing things of this nature, we talk to Mexico, hey, you know, we send you guys a lot of money. As a matter of fact, you know, we help you guys out a lot. If you're not going to make sure that none of these fools are crossing the border, you know what? We're going to take a lot of money back. As a matter of fact, we're going to make it very hard for you. And when Trump was in, guess what? We didn't have this problem. And I want people to understand why. Because Trump is like a real man. When he says something, he means it. When he says, hey, if you're not going to take care of this problem, we're going to get your ass. Right? People are like, oh, my goodness, what do you mean he going to get our ass? He said he going to get our ass. And you know what? That's wrong. No president should be saying stuff like that. Yeah, presidents need to speak like that. It's whoever has the biggest stick. That's how the world is. Most people in this country don't know how the world works because they're raised by their mama. When you're raised by your mama, you think you can talk everything through. No, you can't. When somebody thinks you have a big stick, you know what happens? They listen. Yeah, they act accordingly. Why do you think the Middle East never turned out into hell, right? Because Trump called them and said, hey, yeah, we send a lot of money over there. Yeah, no, don't you do that. Because if anything happens, I might let some of these bombs loose, you know what I'm saying? Right? Yeah, that's what Trump was saying. And guess what? None happened. But when Biden comes and Kamala Hyena Harris came up, let me tell you, always laughing like a hyena. Worst black woman alive. When those people came who are ran by a cartel of folks, evil folks, satanic folks who are running America right now, they're the ones who are engineering this type of destruction. I want people to understand it. I want black folks to understand too. They don't care about ya.
Nope.
They don't. This country is ran by some evil folks. And a lot of people are waking up to that fact right now. They're like, how come everything is turning to shit? You know, Donald Trump says every time Biden touches something, it's turning to shit. It's on purpose. Yeah. It's on purpose. And I want people to understand things just like this don't just happen. It's on purpose. They have a mission to destroy this country. And they know that Donald Trump, he doesn't think like that. He's not part of that evil cartel. You know, the folks that hang out with Diddy and get their booty hole busted open and stuff like that? Yeah, Diddy is part of the evil cartel as well. Right? He's not part of that crowd. So they want him gone. I want people to understand that. Last words on this here, sir.
You know, the whole thing can stop as soon as we do our part here in America. They know nobody fears Joe Biden. People are telling you coming to America, oh, we're coming here because Joe Biden here.
Yep. They even
Donald
say it.
Trump told them. Donald Trump told them, and he meant it. He said he would tax everything coming from Mexico, and he will put taxes on stuff going back to Mexico.
There you go.
Because we know the Mexicans that come over here and work, well, they want to come over here and work. They can spend the money here in America. But when they try to send it back is when they get hit. And that's part of Mexico's economy. If Donald Trump says, hey, y'all work here in America, fine, okay. But if you send $1 back, America get 35 cents.
Yep.
Nobody wants that. Because you can work here in America, spend your money here. So you will have to buy and spend goods here to bring it back over there. Then you may have someone at the border say you can't bring it back. So that would stop the people. But this Mexican president, who think he's big and bad, knows why, because of Joe Biden.
Absolutely. You just can't get around it. Just can't get around it. And I want the folks out there, there's people who see very clearly, and there's people who don't see very much at all. And I pray that, guidance and good fortune finds you. I pray that you open your heart and your eyes so that you can see what we see. Because it's not very hard. China right now is buying up a whole bunch of farmland. Whole bunch of farmland. And it's because of the Biden administration and the evil cartel that's running them. This country right now is going to hell. And I don't even know if Trump gets in there, in a sense, if he can even save it. That's how bad it is right now. There's a whole bunch of things that are not even being told to the public that is going on. I remember the first time I reported that, hey, Biden is shipping these illegal aliens under the darkness of night in a plane. I had people say, no, he's not. I've never heard about that, Jermaine. And you know what? Gosh darn it, it's true. We have to wake up. Let's go ahead and move forward.
And how about some illegals now live next door to my little brother?
Oh.
Yeah, some of those people that are flying in, there's a couple neighborhoods in Rocky Mount, North Carolina, that these homes were built in the 60s and 50s, were married couples. Well, those married couples died and their children, rent these houses out. Now they ain't being rented out to a bunch of illegals. Bunch of Mexicans.
Next one up. Last but not least, we're going to speak about Trump here. Trump, ladies and gentlemen. There's a video that has been put out here for a while. And it deals with Trump's victory that he had in 2016. I want you guys to take a look at this video. It's very, very, very important because it shows you the thought process of a lot of these liberals, were actually thinking back then. And it seems like they still have that same thought process. I want you guys to take a look at that. I want to speak about it. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Here we go.
The front page of every newspaper in the nation is looking ahead to a President Trump. His surprise victory defied pre-election polling. With us now, our New York Times columnist Maureen Dowd and CBS News contributor Bob Schieffer. Good morning to both of you. There's a lot to sink our teeth into this. Bob, we were all sitting there last night.
Beautiful.
This is a massive Clinton failure as well. They were predicting a victory.
This is a failure on all fronts. People were mad. I said going into this, the word to describe the electorate was anxious. It was great anxiety. It was not anxiety, it was anger. It was anger. They wanted to throw the bones out, and they did.
You've been very vocal about your brother Kevin and his allegiance to Trump. What are you and Kevin saying today about what happened last night, Maureen?
Well, of course, I was at the New York Times all night, and I called Kevin starting at midnight through 3 to kind of try and figure out what happened. And he said, of course, a lot of people didn't really tell pollsters who they were going to vote for. And that basically what we already know, that people are completely fed up with politicians in Washington enriching themselves and not paying attention to the working class, and they're angry.
Well, Donald Trump... Go ahead.
Well, you've suggested that Trump has always been, during the campaign, playing a character. And the question now is, what character will inhabit the White House?
Yeah, it was interesting to watch him last night because all along, you know, I've compared him to a bank robber who walks into a bank expecting to run into a lot of guards and locked doors and finds himself walking in freely and getting the money. That was true
with the vault open
in the Republican primary, and it was true last night. And no one is more stunned than Donald Trump. And, you know, Harry Truman used to say that you can never tell how a man will accept the responsibility of the presidency until he has it. Right. So hopefully Trump will rise to the occasion.
We are talking about profound policy changes that are coming. You have a Republican-controlled Congress. So we can talk about Obamacare, immigration, trade, and the Supreme Court. We're going to have massive changes.
And the Iran-Contra deal.
This is going to be a Republican Party led by Donald Trump. It's going to be a different Republican Party than your brother grew up with, even, or we all came to know.
So what do you think the alt-right...
This is totally different, and we don't know yet how different it's
going to be. So what do
you
think the alt-right influence on him will be?
The alt-right? I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, you can ask me about 20 questions today, and about 18 of them, my answer's going to be, I'm going to be honest, I don't know.
You know, I have one, Bob, because you said last night that this was a vote against Washington. What does this say about America today? As we get up in the light of day, what does it say?
Well, it thinks that the government, a lot of people out there think the government has failed them. I mean, they see these people come to Washington. Washington sits there and nothing happens.
Same thing.
Repairing roads and bridges and potholes has become a partisan issue. They can't get anything done.
Barack Obama was propelled into the White House by a good campaign and also the historic nature of his candidacy and a new coalition. Hillary Clinton tried to also capture that historic nature, being the first woman president. And yet she didn't turn out women in massive numbers. And I was struck by something that Michelle Norris of NPR said on our air last night. She said this isn't about a cracked ceiling. It's about the cracked window in a woman's car in the rural Midwest. Is that a way to really change the way we think about this?
Yeah, that's really interesting. Well, Hillary, one of the most amazing things that happened is that Hillary did not get a lot of excitement, especially among young women, for her historic candidacy. And basically, most voters saw her as an incrementalist in a year of revolution.
Did people not like her?
Well, what did they
Does it come down to that? They didn't like her?
Yeah, back to Obama's likable and not Hillary. You know, but her problem is she could never really get out. Everyone says she's very warm in private and has a great sense of humor, but she could never get that out for the last quarter of the century.
So what happens to the Clintons?
Your own husband don't even like y'all. He's
well,
every young chick
I
he can
think
find.
the Clinton regime, which we thought Obama had disabled in 2008, is now finally disabled.
But this country is still very divided. I mean, here she has won the popular vote. This is the second time now, in less than 20 years that one person has won the popular vote.
I'm going to stop it right here, folks. I'm going to stop it right here. Jamal, these folks are all butthurt.
Yes.
You know, and they're going to continue to be butthurt. Their assessment is all off. It's off. These people can't even, make it a good assessment to save their lives. Oh my God, the alt-right, has an influence on Trump, by goodness gracious. We hope that Trump will, rise to the occasion. These people are idiots. They don't think well. That's why so many conservatives got a problem with liberals. That y'all don't think well. Most folks didn't tell the truth to the pollsters because they found out that America's not really good when it comes to telling the truth. It's ran by mama. Right? You go ahead and tell the truth and then people want to shoot you down. Why do you think there's a whole bunch of black men who've turned to Trump now? I mean, I've so many black men who used to come after me wholeheartedly are now voting for Trump. And I want black women to understand, once the black man actually wakes up and takes his rightful place at the head of the household, you will see a change in your life. Either you're going to get with it or you're going to get lost. And that's how real men behave and act. Jamal, what do you think about this here?
Well, here's the thing. If you listen to them, and y'all have to see that clip, they're talking about bringing Donald Trump down. They're talking about trying to stop him. They want Republicans who they know won't gonna do nothing. This is what I have been talking about, people. If you notice, I have been talking about what Democrats expect out of Republicans. Democrats push stuff, change norms, tear our traditions down. But when Republicans get in office, no, we're not gonna. We're gonna change. We're gonna bring back the integrity. Yep. We're gonna bring back integrity to these offices. And that basically means they gonna hold where the Democrat tore it down at. So when the Democrats get back in power, they're gonna finish tearing it down
even more.
This is what they're gonna do. And all these Republicans, well, we're Constitution of the Constitution of the Constitution of the Constitution.
They love that word too.
They love saying that word, but they do not.
It's a hoodwink word.
Or defend it. They do not. You sit here and you have people like right now. Look what President Trump is going through right now. Tell me why right now you don't have Hunter Biden locked up in Arkansas, locked up in Florida for underage, for sex with underage girls. Why Joe Biden ain't being locked up or investigated now that we know that the Ashley Biden diary is true. Yep. Ashley Biden said her dad took naked showers with her. Where's Fox News reporting on that? That should be over and over and over.
If it was Trump, it would be everywhere.
Joe Biden had sex with his own daughter. What grown man take a shower with his child naked?
Naked. He's a Jamal. You can't get around it. If it was Trump, it would be all over. If it was Trump, it would be all over, Jamal. You know that.
All over, non-stop. Why you support Don? Can you support a man who touched his daughter? Even Ivanka said he touched her inappropriately and she felt uncomfortable. Could you? And they will say, well, you just saying that. It's already proven. Literally in her diary that somebody went to prison for. 10 months they got locked up over that diary. And I don't hear nobody hammering it. Joe Biden molested his own daughter. And no, he got a history of touching children, touching people. Why haven't we seen those videos back on Fox News? Fox News, I'm telling you something. Yes, I play clips from Fox, me and you both. But Fox News has already tried to associate themselves with the lot. And that's why we're losing.
Yep.
Because the news agencies and stuff we depend on too busy trying to stay friendly with the Democrat Party.
They are. They are, to the point where, you know, they're part of the problem as well. That's why there's so many Republicans and conservatives who ran away from these type of folks. They don't even watch Fox News like that anymore because of the way they behave. They're not for telling the truth. If you go on Fox News, there's a lot of fluff on there. A lot of fluff.
A lot of it.
And you get sick and tired of it. You just want the truth. So you get folks finding podcasts like this. We're not supported by the GOP, the DNC, or none of them. So guess what? We can tell the truth. Absolutely. People are addicted to the truth once you hear it, once you find it. And what I'm saying is not hard to find. All you got to do is Google it. Once you start Googling what we're talking about, you'll be shocked why these people aren't speaking about it. And they're not speaking about it because they're part of the same machine.
Yes.
We have corporate establishment Republicans who are just like the liberals. They're part of the same machine. I never hear Fox News ever speak about that. They don't. They don't speak about that. And the reason why they don't speak about that, ladies and gentlemen, is because they're the problem as well. It's very easy to see that they are part of the machine. But I have a feeling that, a lot of this will be coming to a head. All the folks that are sitting there making up lies, all the elite folks who believe that they're going to get away with this, you're not. You will be found out, just like Diddy. You see how Diddy's going through hell right now? There's a lot of folks who are in politics who will be dealing with the same stuff. That's why you see the folks are so quiet about it, right? The politicians should be the first ones speaking about the hell that's going on with Diddy and all the sexual trafficking and everything else that's going on. Diddy was just like Epstein, except he did it for Hollywood. These people, at the end of the day, they're ran by the CIA, the FBI, the NSA. They're ran by these quote-unquote folks, these groups that they call the deep state, right? Anytime Trump says the deep state, they try to mock him.
Yep.
And he's telling the truth about it. These groups have not been held accountable. FBI hasn't been held accountable for what they've done. They're the ones who killed Martin Luther King. A lot of people don't even know
Kennedy,
that.
Robert Kennedy.
Yeah, Robert Kennedy. I want people to understand these groups are here to cause dysfunction and dismay in our country. All the tactics they know when it comes to psyops, they use it on the public.
Yep.
This is not being even spoke about on regular news. Regular news should be saying this to the public if they're real. They're not real. Oh, Iowa Hawkeyes, shout out to Iowa Hawkeyes, says you two are quite a pair. Keep her rolling. Shout out to Iowa Hawkeyes. 1, 2, 3. But that's what it is. Let's go ahead and move forward. Gosh darn it, that time running. We got one more. We're going to see if we can get it in. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. 6 jurors are seated in Trump's criminal hush money trial. Gosh darn it, they want him gone. Take a look.
Yep.
But we begin with the first 6 jurors seated in that New York hush money trial of Donald Trump. Those sworn in today, including an Irish-born man who works in sales. He's the foreperson, as well as an oncology nurse and a corporate attorney. 6 more jurors and 6 alternates are still needed to complete jury selection. The former president today seated back in that courtroom where at one point the judge scolded him, accusing him of muttering while a prospective juror was speaking. Prosecutors also filing a motion to hold Trump in contempt, saying he willfully violated that gag order in this case by attacking 2 known witnesses, Michael Cohen and Stormy Daniels, on social media. Trump has pleaded not guilty to charges he falsified business records as part of an alleged effort to hide hush money payments to Daniels. So we turn now to ABC News investigative reporter Olivia Rubin, live outside that courtroom in Manhattan, along with ABC News legal contributor and trial attorney Brian Buckmeyer. Olivia, I want to start with you. This is from the pool note today. I want to read it to you, and you've seen this, but our viewers haven't. This is about the prospective jurors that they brought into the courtroom. And at one point it says, quote, "Some looked around curiously as they passed the half-dozen journalists and a sketch artist in the back. Ma'am, put your cell phone away," a court security officer told one panelist after she saw Trump and tried to pull out her phone. I read that to say, these are normal people thrust into a very unusual experience. We have 6 of them now seated on this jury. What do we know about them?
I think that's exactly right, Jay. I'm so glad you read that because people never get to hear those. And I spoke with another juror who was dismissed earlier today, who also just spoke about her shock walking into the room and seeing former President Donald Trump sitting there. She said that she essentially could not believe it. So like you said, these are normal people. And I'm just reading some of the notes that we have pulled together on them. Like you said, you know, there is a nurse, there is a teacher who lives in Harlem. And what they said about Donald Trump is so telling. So, for example, Jay, take a listen to juror number 4. This is a man who's originally from Puerto Rico. He lived in the Lower East Side for 40 years, and he works in IT. And this is what he said about Donald Trump when asked. He said he finds him mysterious and fascinating. He said, quote, "He walks into a room and he sets people off one way or the other. I find that really interesting. Really, this one guy can do all of this. Wow, that's what I think." And Trump's own attorney, Todd Blanche, seemed actually a little bit at a loss by that response and saying, all right, thank you. So those are the type of people that are being seated on this jury. And I want to give you one more example, if you can bear with me, that there was another juror. She's juror number 5 now. She's from Harlem. She's a teacher. And Jay, she was actually the only one in her group who did not raise her hand when the panel was asked if they were aware that Donald Trump was indicted in multiple criminal cases. So she said she just learned about the other indictments while inside that room. And this juror, an African-American woman, said that she doesn't consider herself political, but that she liked Trump's candor. She said, "President Trump speaks his mind, and I'd rather that than someone who's in office who you don't know what they're thinking." So just a little taste of the first
and I'm going to stop it right there. I'm going to stop it right there. So, Jamal, gosh darn it, this got to be our last clip with the time running.
Okay.
You know what? Well, you know, once the mouth starts running, you know, we start laughing a bit. You know, we get carried a bit.
We start going back with people.
Yeah. What do you think about this hush money case? Do you think it's gonna, you know, trump up? You know, do you think that it's going to hinder him from, you know, getting into office? There's a percentage of folks out there who won't vote for him just because he is indicted. Now, I don't know how much that is, but from what I've read, they claim to be 2 to 5%. And I don't know if that's enough to sway, sway folks over to the evil side. What do you think?
You know, this is embarrassing. This is disgraceful. And half of America don't care if their side used dirty tricks and tactics to steal an election. The Democrat Party is breaking everything out they can to deny him. This is what I mean by mutual shared destruction. As long as the Democrat Party don't fear Republicans doing the same thing, they won't put laws so this never will happen. Can you imagine right now if someone charged Hunter Biden with sexual misconduct with a child?
Oh, Lord.
You imagine what happens if he's go on trial for that, and they said, this is state court. We about to lock him up for 50 years. Joe Biden will be pleading right now for them not to lock his son up. And all that attorney has to do is say, you know what, when you tell the president, this case up in New York, you call off your dogs, we'll call off ours. Long as if no one is willing to call their dogs out when somebody is calling his dogs out, you keep getting what? People being chased by dogs. Oh, he got the dogs out on us. Donald Trump should not be, right now, Joe Biden should be told he is going to be going to jail, or Hunter Biden should be locked up. How many deals he did while he was staying in Florida? How many deals? How Republicans ain't even tried to get Joe Biden off the ballot.
I know. Ain't that crazy?
You know, yes, the Supreme Court ruled you can't take Donald Trump off it, but Joe Biden should have been facing the same thing. He should have been facing it from Florida, Texas, and Republicans in Arizona that said, or any Republican area where Joe Biden can win, like Georgia, because he won it, keep him off the ballot. But none of those states are willing to do what it takes to stop this mess. Because they don't care. They don't care. They talk a good game. They love Donald Trump and stand behind him. But they show you with action they don't.
Absolutely. I believe Donald Trump will win. They're gonna have to kill him, in a sense, for him to lose. There's so many folks who are sitting back and just looking at this mess and know it's not right. They've never seen anything like this before. A lot of stuff in our country has never happened before until Biden has taken office. Look at 6 million illegals, they're saying, since Biden took office. Over 6 million. Destroying the country. Now you start looking at the infrastructure of our country. Look at the bridges. Bridges are collapsing right and left. Ladies and gentlemen, it just doesn't happen like this. It's by design. So we need to make sure that we vote the correct people in, especially when it comes to the Republicans. Republicans have an issue that of loyalty and knowing who is affronter, as I call it. There's a whole bunch of folks who are fronting, and people like Mitch McConnell and them.
Mm-hmm.
They're not for the country. Mitch McConnell got a Chinese wife.
Yes.
But right there, right when I hear him and his Chinese wife, and his Chinese wife is a rich woman who is part of the Chinese government, and nobody's saying anything about it. I mean, it should let you know what the deal is. The thing about us, Jamal, is that just because we speak highly about Republicans, we don't let that, blind us to the people who are on our side who aren't doing the right thing. And that's something that Republicans need to start doing. Sean Hannity has lost a lot of his audience, and it's because he doesn't have that honesty with them anymore. Nope. He's not able to speak in a manner where folks can believe him. he was talking about nuking Russia. I mean, once I heard that, he was gone from there. I said, my goodness gracious, they got to you too? Nuking Russia?
Stupid.
I thought you were smart, sir. Holy smokes. But that's what it is. And ladies and gentlemen, that's our show for tonight. Yeah, we reaching that 2-hour mark. And let me tell you something. It's been nothing but fire. Nothing but fire. Brother, I want to thank you so much for coming on in here, hanging with us on this beautiful Tuesday.
Of course, have fun.
Any last words for our beautiful crowd?
Get out, vote early. Don't be scared. It's easy to talk about how much you stand for America behind microphones or behind internet. Put your stuff up. Let people know you're not scared to defend America. We need to stand up, show out, make sure people know we support Donald Trump. Make sure people know. Make sure people know we support America. America cannot afford 4 more years of Joe Biden. We
Absolutely
can't.
not. Absolutely not. Make sure you guys share, hit that like button. One thing I do know, and I hear it all the time, once folks find our show, they say our show is like a gosh darn diamond in the rough.
I appreciate
it. And I want folks to understand it. Oh yeah, I have a feeling about, the future here. Certainly do. So make sure you guys do your due diligence. Hit that like button, make sure you share. We have one more person we need to donate to match that $5 challenge with 5 folks. So we need one more person to donate to make that happen. Can we do it out there, ladies and gentlemen? I think we can. I think we can. I'll be on tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central, giving you guys a good word. We're going to speak about a lot of things here. Some things I wanted to discuss, but we didn't get to tonight because of, me running the mouth and stuff like that, and not looking at the time. I'm black.
Show. Perfect show.
Just give me a break. But other than that, that's what it is. So you guys take care. Have a very, very good night. And I'll catch you guys here later with another edition of Conservative Nation.